Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermore. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airways on WNTF. Nevermind the Furthermore. Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you with the love and support of our good friends over at the Independent Creator Directory. That's indiecd.org, your one-stop shop for the best and the brightest authors, artists, and musicians. If you are looking to find a place where you can host yourself and be represented online, this is the place to go. For a low one-time fee of $40, you have a wonderful website. You have a wonderful community that you become a part of. And you have the opportunity to get into the backdoor social media network to hear about what events are coming. Which conventions are worth going to, and get in on that social calendar. But guys, you know me. I'm not going to give you an offer without a deal. So if you use secret code podcast1 for a limited number of people, you'll get that at half off. That's right. So it will only be $20. The cheapest, best investment you can make in your online presence. We are also made possible by, let me see if I can pull this out without making a big mess. Ha-ha! Caught you. The Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear, all part of our ongoing series of Western martial arts manuals designed to help you go from having never handled the sword to teaching the art to others. Expect very soon the next edition. The Rapid Rapier should be coming out as early as the end of this month, early next month, because that's what I will be focusing on as soon as my debate with my surroundings is done. Now, we are also, one more, I will reprimand. I will mention is Hanson Hellfire, a dark secret has claimed 2 lives and is hunting an innocent child at the edge of the Appalachian Mountains. Only his aunt, a plucky reporter, her cameraman, and a very odd cat stand against the forces of darkness. And the second one of those is also in the works. All right, let's talk accountability. Wow, guys, it is a Monday. It is a very Monday. And I was very, very busy this weekend doing a lot of things that really don't terribly apply to what we do. But I was working on the Rapid Rapier, some new art book projects in that I was breaking in a new sketch pad. I was emailing and reaching out to quite a few of you on that topic, not to be cryptic, but there is someone who is very dear to me, and because of recent events, they've had to change a lot of their contact information. And I don't have access to their new contact information. So if you're watching this and that applies to you, one, take this opportunity while everybody's locked down and do your homework. And two, reach out because I am there for you. Okay? But I need to know you're doing okay too. You know the deal. Now, back onto the other stuff. I've had some more interesting things pop up in the Nerfiverse. I will be tracking and possibly discussing soon. I really want to get back both in the schedule of my Patreon weekly reports, and I want to get back in the schedule of the Nick Knows Nerf videos, because I actually have blasters that need reviewing. I have discussions that need having. 2025 is already on the Nerfverse kind of foam flinging side, looking really exciting. I have leatherworking I have to do. I just have to decide which project is getting some extra love for the purpose of this, as I have several things that could use leatherworking. And I may have to go downstairs and find some missing pieces because I'm looking for eyelet centers. But hopefully at some point in the fairly near future, I will have a pre-recorded leatherworking video for the historical fencing type folks coming down the pipe. In other words, news. Today is very important for several reasons, and one of them is that it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And thanks to the cold and a few other things, some people who might not have had it off have it off right now. And I think it's very important that today, among all other days, we remember to judge people by the content of their character. That we remember, in the face of adversity, that hatred begets hatred, that cruelty begets cruelty, that blood will call out for blood. And no matter what's going on, no matter how you feel about things, it is far more important that we, as individuals, as creatives, as the last best hope for absurdity in the face of forces that take themselves entirely too serious, that we take our energy and we use it to come together. Okay? To every single man, woman, child, gender fluid, I don't care if we're going to go into the old terms of folks like Otherkin and them. I've ran in interesting circles as both a freelance artist and wandering whatever the heck I am. I will remind you, whatever I am is not a cryptid, though. Suburban legend, perhaps, at least for a time, but I'm not a cryptid. No, we need to be there. And if there's one thing I have found, as someone who has had the dubious pleasure of watching a great many major historical events happen around me, nothing lasts forever. No storm is without end. No cloud always darkens the sky. And frankly, neither does the brightest days either. The one thing we must rely on is our ability to adapt and come together. Because that cooperation is probably the single most important thing we do, not just as individuals or as creators or as Americans, but as humanity. Um, I was studying a course a long, long time ago when I was much younger and had a lot more toner in my hair. And they posed a question: what is the first sign of recorded civilization? What was the first sign that humanity had transcended being what we would consider now a mere animal and ascending to a rational thinking species? Was it agriculture? Was it tool use? Was it writing or music or literature or fire? The answer to that question, the first sign of the existence of civilization, is a mended leg bone. At some archaeological dig, I can't remember, bordering on paleontology, gets weird at this time phase. They found many thousands of years ago the remains of a man. And that man had a broken femur that showed signs that it had been broken and it had healed back. A creature with a broken leg, anybody out in the wilds on its own, would starve to death and die. Can't move fast enough to catch prey. Can't move fast enough to get away from predators. Wherever you are on the food chain, being suddenly slow, not the best thing. And yet, by the growth on this bone, they found this person had survived that, which meant, regardless of what else was going on in the world, someone took care of and nurtured this person. Thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. Okay? Possibly before what we consider the Stone Age proper. An individual was hurt. And instead of leaving them to die, another individual helped them. This is the birthplace and the foundation of civilization. It is more so than agriculture, more so than technology, more so than even religion. The core of humanity itself is compassion for each other and building up the fallen. And my friends, my duckies, the people I love out there, today I come to you and I ask and I remind that we reach for our best selves. Regardless of conflicts, regardless of historical events, regardless of the things that move around us that we have no power to change, we have the power to change and affect ourselves and how we communicate with others. we recently lost President Carter. And historically, Jimmy Carter was not considered a great president. There are sliding scales of it, but he wasn't considered that historically relevant. But something else far more interesting happened. More so than I believe any president before or since. Jimmy Carter was a good man. A kind man. A person who devoted his skills to carpentry, to building homes for those who could not afford a home any other way. So today, regardless of who may beat their chest, regardless of the chance of gilded glory, the loud begs for attention by men who want to be considered great. Do not forget the presence of the good men. The good people who every day, without fanfare, without applause, without monetary reward often, without physical appreciation, go out and do jobs to help people that others might completely discard. So before I run my ads and before I get to your comments, because your comments are always more entertaining than I am, before I do my usual response to acknowledged and aggressive authority being absolute absurdism, I am going to ask something of you. I'm not asking for a vote. I'm not asking for you to fly a flag or even give me money. I ask each and every person watching this in the face of possible fear, especially for us historians, and soul-biting cold, I ask you to be good. I'm not talking behaved. I'm not talking manners. I'm not talking green room stuff. Right now, I could literally not care less in any way, shape, or form about such sillinesses. I know a great many of you are quite comfortable in your hedonism, and I am certainly no preacher, and I am certainly no holy man. But I do ask, be a force of good. Help those you can. Tell the truth. Bring joy where you can. And if it's not your problem, if somebody's doing something that you may not agree with, but it's their business, leave them alone. It's time that those of us who have the strength of character stand up, not for any great movement or marching or anything silly like that, but we stand up to be kind. with that bit of message, I'm going to run Joe's ad. All right, folks, I know I'm interesting, odd, and perhaps a little too tonal today, but my chat is always more interesting, and I thank you for the delay. I also realized that when I set the video up, I didn't set it to go the right place, so you didn't have as much warm-up time as you normally do for the morning pre-chat, so hopefully I can manage it. A quick warning that we are somewhere around a wind chill of negative 15 and falling here in the lovely world where the corn sharks have gone dormant. Even the migrating yetis are staying home and watching old episodes of Dark Shadows while drinking coffee and cocoa. The first through the door here tonight, this morning, tonight. Yeah, guys, I'll be honest, I took a nap. I did not sleep. Be sure to head over to Nick's channel to see the majority of the comments. Thank you, Joe. Sorry about that. Good morning and happy Frigid Monday, folks. Well, hopefully the weather is the only thing that's frigid in your lives. And in the perfect sentiment of warmth and wonder. Morning, Trey. How are you? I hope as soon as this silly streaming stuff is over, you and Joey can cuddle up, and I'm sure you can find some way to spend your time. Good morning. And good morning, Carl, who's saying morning, Joe and Trey and possible lurkers. Well, there are at least 11 of you on right now. I do hope you all hit that like button. You remember to share this around, especially today. I think there are a lot of people who need this kind of goofball energy, so let's keep the ball rolling. And good morning, Carl. And there will be a Behind the Code tonight. I will be setting up the profile for the Launchpad Network. Now, if that isn't two great forces coming together for good, I don't know what is. However, every time I hear the phrase the Launchpad Network, I hear Launchpad McQuack saying, okay, DW. So, I'm a little... my brain is in a place, if you will. To illustrate how cold it is here, I will not be leaving the house even to Muncie today. That and the flat tire that I'll have to inflate next time the temperature gets above 20. Yeah, I am excited, shall we say, to find out which of the vehicles will be willing to start come Wednesday. And I'm hoping that some part of Tuesday breaks enough for me to work on them. We will make something happen. Morning, Carl. And Donna called to reschedule Tarkle's vet checkup today. I understand. Trey says, it's so cold here, I shivered and my shadow shattered. Dear Lord in heaven. I can think of some shadows that could shatter in my life, but you need, look, Trey, if I start talking about how you need to warm yourself up, I'm going to have to not the green room myself. So, yeah, whatever you need to do to, keep between the blankets and cats and crochet warm enough till we get done with Joey, who I know has been working like an absolute dog to get the 3D prints done. I just don't know if he wants payment in uh, cash, PayPal, or just send him more filament. I'm not quite sure how best to start the near endless debt I have to the amazing Joe Bachman. And speaking of people who can keep things warm, hey Donna. Hey Donna. Ouch, Trey. Glad we didn't have to take Donna or charcoal out in the cold anyway. Oh yeah. Meanwhile, Calvin is sitting here hoping for a repeat of Cat TV tomorrow this morning. Less the near toppling of the monitor. Nope. Carl, have you considered getting a wall mount for your TV? I could not have a TV of any size without it being wall mounted. April offered Joe's help in exchange. I'm sorry. April offered Joe's help to change the van tire, but I told her it would wait till warmer weather. That's wise. Heck no, no tire to change anyway. I have to inflate, take the van down to the tire shop. Kimai says, come on, Dad, play the bird video again. We'll behave. Yeah, sure. That's like saying, no, don't worry. I won't shoot the high-powered Nerf gun in the house. Never mind that I'm getting, incoming fire from the ricochets. I may have been up at 4 a.m. this morning with my cell phone in my pocket and foolish enough to go downstairs so I wouldn't wake everybody else, sending assorted darts and little rival balls ricocheting around downstairs for a bit before it got too itchy. Thesis, good morning, Thesis. Yeah, I have to speak with Thesis. He wants to schedule something next month, and I just have to see what of my assorted things next month I will be doing. So we'll have to see. Hobo is patiently waiting for me to go out in the living room and put on the heated blanket. Blanked. Yeah, a lot of me is blanked. I've been sleeping over a heated blanket last many nights. I use it to help my back. So the cats quite love my bed in the morning. Hey, Thesis. Good morning. Go ahead, Trey. You have 7 minutes. Just got in from taking Indigo to morning potty. Temps aren't below 0, but it's pretty darn close. And, no, I have to be under it, too. Can't say that I blame you. Hey, Thesis. It was 0 when I woke up, but up to 4 degrees now. Balmy 1. Oh, we are up to 1. However, the wind speed, I'd have to check with the wind speed. Wednesday might be okay. That's what it looks like. And Inigo, hey, Foxy. I don't know if you said hi or you just started talking about Foxy, about Inigo, and I missed it. But hey, Foxy. Officially destroyed some of his toys enough that they got thrown away. This is the way. And so we shall never mind this furthermore like we didn't mind this before. Yes, Mike Jimmy, excellent to hear from you. I hope you are recovering well, my dear, dear friend. And I say this on behalf of Americans everywhere. Ignore the news. We're not all jerks. I love Mike Jimmy. Hi, Foxy. Oh, no, Mike Jimmy. Hey, Mike Jimmy. Hey, lovelies. I'm actually tuning in from my PC for the first time in months, as Lowe's and I are getting ready to pack up this place and move. Woohoo! That's wonderful. And hey, Mike, Jimmy, also, please, blah, blah, blah. Also, please be a good sport and leave that like for your good old manatee, so he may drop treats in your shoes this coming citrus. Oh, that's beautiful. Move like a new place. And Mike Jimmy's greeting everyone. Hey, Carl, Trey, Thesis, and Donna. Hey, Mike Jimmy. And here comes the dawn. And Dawn is, of course, the mistress mind behind the adventures of Buddy and Georgette, her fanciful felines. To this day, that's one of my favorite pictures I've ever done of all time. And she is also, and we're coming in just about time for a commercial, so we will remind you that Dawn is also... All righty. Let me find where I am. Sorry, we have a comment dump I have to navigate. And where is my hairbrush? Alrighty. Foxy, oh no, Mike Jimmy. Okay, no, here we go. And hi, Nick. Hi, Foxy. Carl, what's with you up? We're getting a corner house with garden, giant attic, and 3 bedrooms. We've decided that another year of not being able to enter our apartment was a good point to move. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that something negative in Mike Jimmy's life is turning into something positive. This is the kind of alchemy I look for us all to have. Wonderful. Hey, Foxy. Good thinking, MJ. Congrats on the new house and greetings. Sounds lovely. That sounds great. Congrats, MJ. Dawn. Hey, Dawn. Everybody's happy to see Dawn. And whoops. Come on. Don't forget to like and share. Hey, McKay, Donna. Now, I know it has been your policy to let the mojo loose, but sometimes, especially on a night like this, which it still feels like a night like this because I hit so late it's early, you just gotta cuddle down, have a beverage of your choice, and keep the mojo in the dojo tonight, folks. We don't want the mojo to get cold now, do we? So y'all just cuddle up and find something to make you purr this cold Monday morning. Anyway, liked. Yes. Appreciate that. More tug of war time. Pup, you are exhausting. That's what they're for. Hello, Kelly Carlisle. How are you? Atomic Stories is so cool. I am so glad that you are out here doing the good work. Let me see if I have here we go. This. Just throw money at Kelly Carlisle till one of these shows up in your mailbox. Make it happen. You will get great art and great stories from some of the most amazing people out there. And ooh, that's new. Yes, it was. And hey, Kelly. Hey, Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Well, right now, the StreamYard's doing that thing where it doesn't want to click a comment down, which happens every so often. So we will just... Oh, okay. We've got comments coming in. Thank you, Joe. Yep. Okay, now. Wow, you guys are on it. Ah, I see the source of the glory. Where? There we go. I wish you, StreamYard, if you're watching, which I know StreamYard watches all my programs because I am a wonder of a broadcaster and a national treasure. Consider adding a button that says go to current comment. Not just hide current comment, go to current comment. Think about it. For what you guys are charging poor Joe, go to current comment should be a button. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Congratulations, Mike Jimmy. I'm excited and happy for your family and yourself as well. We're just happy to hear from you, Chris. I hope all my Southern friends are staying warm. I know this is an unnatural situation for many of you. I didn't know my back door was that wide open. You know what? That one's for everything that just went through my mind. Whoo! That's a spicy meatball. Wow. Wow. Hello, America. Okay. I'm going to get myself in trouble. I'm allowed. I have permission. Now. Backdoor social media. Yeah, not the green room. My proof copy of Atomic Stories will be in the mail today. After approving it, the print and ebook version public date will be announced. I want... Give me the good links as soon as they're available, Kelly. Let's get that taken care of. Maybe we can get you on to promote it. This is one of those projects that is long time coming, and it deserves all. Let me just get this down. All the love. I know much of what's in that book. I've seen the art. I know some of the stories, at least roughly. I am not at liberty to discuss, but oh my gosh. Yay, Kelly. What? And congratulations, Mike Jimmy, on your house. Things are really coming together for you guys. And the supersonic squee out of her. Can't stop Dawn now. That's great news, Kelly. That's wonderful, Kelly. I hope it's all good right away so you can go straight to print. So do I. Morning, Chris. Thanks so much, my friends, for your continued patience and support. Y'all mean so much to me. You are much loved. Thanks, Mime Jimmy. No. Your cover for the anthology made the book come alive, jumping right off the page. Fantastic job, buddy. Hey, Chris. And I think that it was taking care of one another. Yes, exactly. That a broken bone didn't mean death. Yep. Dizzily stumbling into the show. Hi, guys. Hi, Dizzy. No. Hey, Sarah. How are you? I can't wait till you are closer and we can get into mischief. Nice, Foxy. Hey, Sarah. I remember reading about it. Morning, Sarah. That means there's hope for Mike Jimmy, too. Indeed. Nah, Carl, I gave up on myself ages ago. Oh, wait, you mean my bones. Once again, I may have to green room myself for that sentence. But, yes. Morning, fam. LOL. Yes, you'll heal. Yep, predator-minded will be predators, and those with humanity will help each other out for sure. That goes for the animal kingdom, including Homo sapiens. Primal instincts. And all right, Time for me to hop again. Dinner is almost ready, and I have to wake up a toddler. I know you're in pain, and I know things are rough and uncertain. There's all this craziness going on. But if you do get to see this part, Mike Jimmy, appreciate it. Enjoy it. Don't rush it. Don't miss a moment. You don't know about some of the best stuff you're ever going to have. You're going to look back and remember it. Enjoy your dinner. Great men don't have to tell you they are great. You know it. Take care, everyone. Love y'all dearly. Thanks for being you. Have fun, Mike Jimmy. You too, sir. Be good, Mike Jimmy. Talk to you soon. Give my best to your wife. Give that toddler lovin's for me. Later, Mike Jimmy Locher de Same here. Brutally cold here in the deep south this week. Low temperature tonight is supposed to be 8. Hope everyone is staying warm and being careful as well as safe. I hope so too. I have 40 pounds of lap warmer. I'm doing all right. I am glad. Temps in the 20s I can deal with. Anything lower and it gets difficult for me to handle. That's fair. You see, there's a part of the year, just about every year now that people have broken the climate for a bit, where it is regularly colder where I live than it is in Australia. So, not Australia. Well, there too, but Antarctica. Sorry, I didn't go south enough. When our wind chills and Antarctica wind chills kind of go, woo, yeah, it's a thing. But we are having a massive heat wave of 5 degrees, but that's not wind chill. And I am really worried that if I looked out at the wind chill, I'd be like, ah, because I saw better than -20 last night. So, stay warm, stay safe, curl up with a good book. I know a few. In fact, I think I can think of somebody who has a good book to, well, deal with the chill.
Which is worse, parental interference in your job or a person with a weapon when they shouldn't have one? Working security can be boring, but some conventions are a blast. Find this and all of Donna Carlene's books at lulu.com or look for her on ndcd.org.
All righty. Boom. I'm okay as long as it's not windy till about 0. With wind, ugh. It's like sub-zero in my area. I hate snow. We are at goose egg temp right now. Don't want to think about wind chills, Foxy. 11 likes. Great job, folks. I appreciate each and every one of you. Ha! I have a DVD of the best episodes of the original version of Dark Shadows. Yes, Jonathan Frid is what a vampire should be. Charming, intimidating, terrifying. Refined elegance and will beat you with his cane. Dark Shadows was both influential beyond words and accidentally created my favorite special effect of all time. You see, the candles in Dark Shadows were so bright they overpowered like the filters on the cameras of the time. So they have this distinctive black aura about them. And it's so, watch the original Dark Shadows. And yes, the pacing is slow. It is almost monotonous. But when it gets to being suspenseful, it is suspense. Love that show. Worst I've ever had wind chill, negative 60, and that was not pleasant. Yeah, that's about an annual occurrence over here. So, what do I do when it's this cold? Schedule breakfast with a friend. Dawn! Oh, no. You stay home. Should have made it lunch, Dawn. Foxy, we had that occasionally in Minnesota, and that wind chill sucks the breath right out of you. Yep, freezes your snoot closed. Does that too. Governor called off school for the whole state. My stupid school made all the kids come in anyways, but the heaters couldn't heat the building, so they sent us home like an hour later. Oh. Whew! That sounds like where I went to school, except they didn't send us home. I remember one time it was so cold that the puddles in my yard, in my driveway, because we had this beat up gravel driveway, flash froze. So they were just shards of ice with a void under them. And I tripped and I fell through and it broke like a shard of glass and stabbed me in the knee. And the only reason I didn't bleed like crazy when I pulled it out was the wound. The wound was frozen shut. I'm not even joking. I remember it being so cold that my hair froze and pieces started shattering off of it. Let's see. Where are we? I just saw that because I was reading something as I was talking. It was very important. And let's see. Dawn, I have breakfast with my bestie tomorrow, but we might have to cancel it to school being closing because of the cold. I think so. We could chat about payment after the show, Nick. PayPal would probably be best when you can use. Then you can use it as a tax write-off next year. Okay. Whatever works for you, you just need to send me some numbers so that I can hopefully exceed them. Sounds like certain school official needs to lose their job for being an idiot. I wish. Chris, it's a bureaucracy thing. It's not the principal who calls the days off. It's the school board. Really? According to the closest weather station, and this was at 10:30, it's currently 3 degrees with a negative 12-degree wind chill. That sounds about right. The little thing on my phone is always a little more on my computer is a little more optimistic, and you don't ever want to see what my personal weather station says on days like this. There are days where it's like, no. If they haul kids to the building and they're there for 2 hours, the state provides funding for the day. It's a scam. Poor kids. I will put the caveat that sometimes they do that to get, at least where I went to school, they would do that, if at all possible, to get the kids breakfast because enough of them wouldn't have anything to eat all day if they didn't. So, do with that what you will. Closest weather station to New Chicago is showing 5 degrees with a negative 9 wind chill. That building, for example, is over 100 years old with heated radiators. My babies. I love that pic. Drawing. Artistry. Oh, God, you're going to make me cry. So, yeah, we all stood around the heaters in our coats and waited till we could leave. Snow I can handle. Ice is another story. The only ice I want is in a drink or keeping something cold for me. Stay off the roads, pathways. Yeah. I don't play with ice. Guys, and actually Trelena can attest to this because we went up to the St. Valentine's Day Massacre in lovely Kalamazoo, Michigan one year. And I gave her a ride. Mandy had to work or something. So Trey and I went. And every year there was a snowstorm. But this year was spicy. So we went, had a great time at the event. Didn't buy nearly as much as I wish I could have, but I did buy a couple really great swords, come to think of it. Anyway, came down, and it was whiteout nightmare. And everybody tried to get, there was this whole thing of just get a hotel room. And I'm like, I will not risk Trey's reputation because in the group being what it was, I was not going to risk them having any excuse to make any accusations about Trey. So I drove us in, I want to say it was my Saturn. But Saturns were basically Cavaliers with plastic bodies. And we were making the ruts that the Michigan State snowplow was following. I tried to pull over to let the plow by. It was like, nope. So I'm putting around at about 25 miles an hour down the highway. And every so often we get passed by some moron in an SUV flying about 50. Usually, like, you could hear them laughing. And they'd be fine till they hit the first turn and just went, pump. And they get laid on the other side of the road. We come putting by. So, yeah, I can handle snow. This ice business, I don't even want to go out to my porch when the ice is around. Donna, the school board chairperson, whomever made the decision, needs to be reprimanded or worse. Yeah, you know what? They need to go pick up the kids and deal with it. Of course, this was a while ago now. Justice delayed is justice denied, but it's still better than no justice. Wake them up out of retirement and make them drive the kids in when it's cold. Make them ride along at least. Yeah, that's right. No mercy from me. Good morning. Good morning, Cindy. Before the lovely and talented Cindy Koepp does what she does, I'm going to do what I do. All right. This is one of those points where it is 11 o'clock or almost. For those of you who want to go over to see Daphne and Nita, please feel free. I will not take any offense if you do. I have been asked if I could stay on a bit later than usual just to keep doing the silliness that I do for some folks. So I am intending to do that as long as you guys need or until my need for actual food exceeds the healthy breakfast shake and totally unhealthy maple donut combo. I like to try to balance things out, But where are we? Good morning. And that building was finally torn down and replaced a few years ago. Hey, Cindy. Hi, Cindy. And Cindy waves. I will say this. if the day comes that they bulldoze a wrecking ball, Michigan City Junior High, formerly Elston, which they'll try to keep as a monument to the greater basketball eras of Michigan City, I hope I can arrange to be the person who hits the button on the wrecking ball. If not, I want to watch it go. I want to see that beautiful, mostly above ground dungeon to academic disruption, criminality, and applied incompetence reduced to the rubble that it deserves to be, so that no one else may have to go through what I went through there, and so that I never have to go into a building and see my bloodstains on the wall anymore. Not my favorite place. Hey, Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Waves. Foxy, right. The bus stalling on the way to school because the diesel gelled. Probably won't happen today, but 2 years ago, yes. You know you've made it to adulthood when your school is eventually torn down. My first place of work has been torn down. My college has been rebranded. My schools have been rebranded and shuffled around. I guess I'm an adult. Hates in Hellfire with big stumpy robots using simple swords and fighting axes. Oh, they're in a melee! Go to my Amazon store and please buy my books. Hey, Cindy. Go find Nick's art at deviantart.com/NickT. Tune in to Nevermind the Furthermore this morning at 9 her time, 10 my time. And Dawn has engaged listening mode. I hope it's been entertaining. Howdy! Howdy! Have a lovely breakfast, Dawn. Find the rest of the Nevermind the Furthermore broadcasts at youtube.com/@NicholasTockert. Back door wide open. I'm sorry. Wow. I had that like Creed, Aerosmith moment. It was an Aerosmith moment. Yeah. I read that and it was just that whole with arms wide open. Anyway, more tea and swords for you, Bladed Thesis. I guess now you know it is wide open. I don't know what's about, but zoned in with that comment. Honestly, my malaprops are legendary at this point. Comic-related madness. It's a great comment to come on the show with, Sarah. Indeed. Catch up with the Hysterical Fencing Guild at 7 p.m. on Fridays. I hope everyone does it. Dog, there is no lap left. Made a meal of it. Just lap that lap up. Support the Historical Fencing Guild at patreon.com/the Historical Fencing Guild. Thesis says, I'm not planning on going anywhere today. Taking the pupper out for a potty a couple times, but other than that, I'm staying inside. Aww! Joey got rickrolled by Amanda? Somewhere Joe Dog is smiling and he isn't sure why. I'm so proud! LOL, Joe. That's beautiful. Bird Nerd Productions has listings and more coming. Amaguri Powder, Stellari, teaching resources. Today's chore. And maybe some dragons. Etsy.com/shop/Bird Nerd Productions. Go on your Etsy, favorite that shop. Bird Nerd Productions. That's Cindy Koepp's shop. A great way for you to give her money and her to send you stuff. Nice, Cindy. Sorry, I think that if I searched for the name of my Etsy shop, I'd come up early in the search. Nope, I had to scroll down a ways to find it. I will keep in mind when looking for it. So far, a few looks, but no takers. I am watching your shop. I am currently strapped for cash because I have to save up for some very specific purchases. But I am watching your shop, and I will be sharing coolness around to try to get eyes on it. I got a haircut from Frozen Hair once. Yep. Today's high is above zero. Barely. Wind chill? Eek. Some of my HEMA pals went forth and practiced outside. They said while they were moving was fine. When they started to get tired, not good. His beard and face mask had ice. If you go into the way back files, I yet to dig quite a bit of the Historical Fencing Guild, you will see footage of us at Creek Ridge Park in lovely Michigan City, Indiana, somewhere we don't go anymore because of a whole hubbub. But of us fighting, and it literally was 20 below. Freezing cold. We were insane. And we realized it was kind of hard on the plastic weaponry. That's why we had to stop. Never mind King of the Hill battles and you can find it. There's a little tiny Xander in an epic battle with Jim. Go out and watch it. It's one of my favorite videos of all time. Great times. That happens in this kind of cold. Black ice is even worse. It's insane. Yes, it is. I'm a big advocate for kids getting breakfast at school. We never did. And I'm sure some kids were lucky to get lunch as the hot meal they had. School lunches are definitely important. I would have loved school breakfasts. And it wasn't that we couldn't afford it. It's that I had to get up so early to catch the bus because I was literally the turnaround point. Yeah. Food, and the idea of a warm breakfast in some cases. Oh. If you're making them be there at meal times, the meal should be covered. I agree. Back for now. I haven't left yet, but I know not to tell y'all what to do. Too many green room members here. Okie dokie. That means the green roomers will have to use their imagination, Dawn. Yeah, I worked in 4 districts. 3 of them had a large enough population of students in poverty. The entire school got free breakfast. The free lunch population was smaller. Oh, Dawn. And one district I worked in was very far flung and had some very rural kids. Buses and teachers traveled an hour or more to come to school. As the ice was starting the roads, the school board delayed making a decision. Every other district around was shut down for the day. Some of us were on the way into work when they finally called the day off. I remember getting on the bus and them turning us around. On a good day, it was a 45-minute ride. Usually, it was about an hour 15 at points. And I just realized it took my bus because I had to pick up all the kids and then switch kids out at another stop. As long as it takes me to go from my home, almost as long to Michigan City. I mean, especially if I didn't take bathroom stops. Yeah. I remember hour-long bus rides, no fun at all. I spun out on the road just slamming into a construction median right about the time I got word it was called off. The school board got an earful from the rural parents. That's lucky they all they got. Well, Calvin is busy, but his deputy, Hermione, is now demanding lunch. Soon, boy, soon. You do what you got to do. I still remember one morning in junior high, I showed up to school and the building had no power. Instead of just sending us home, they made us all huddle in the library with the... And glad you were safe, Cindy. And the teachers who had to travel any distance. They never stalled that decision again. Florida ceiling windows until 2 hours past. They finally get funding for the day. They finally sent everyone home saying they got the power back on. They would call us all back. Uh-huh. Thanks. It was a bit of an eek for a bit there. My friend and I walked to his house nearby, and they called a couple hours later. His mom and mine were friends, so they just called us off for the day. I wonder What does the map? What does I wonder what that does to mass bus transit systems when I'm in Lafayette, and what about semis? Built differently with diesel? Well, it's interesting because the mass bus transportation in Lafayette is actually propane powered. The more you know. Diesel is the new formula, less likely to freeze. Ooh. Arms wide open, it's Creed. I thought it was Creed. My brain, you guys, you could ask Joe. I had to request a coffee drink just to be able to get online mentally. I end up tuning in the weirdest moments. Happened all the time when I walk through a nurse's station multiple times a day. Yep. See everyone later on Behind the Code. See you, Carl. Oh, buddy is doing super well. Still on soft food for a few more days. Georgette finally stopped hissing at him. One less thing. I don't catch that. Less thing to go stress about. We'll go with that about. He probably smelled funny at first, but he had 7 teeth pulled, and Georgette was having issues. Well, I'm sorry he's going through that. Glad to hear it, Don. Glad he's doing well. Must go. Y'all stay warm. Visit CKOEPP.com for dragons or books or dragons. Shop Etsy.com/shop/Bird Nerd Productions for stuff, and Patreon.com/CKOEPP for tales. School pizza. Oh my. They have the recipe. You can make school pizza at home. I'm actually probably going to have pizza later because we had a bunch of pizza last night. And we decided to kind of make homemade seafood. So I get to eat all that soon. Kitty lunch. Later's all. Bye. Later, Don and Carl. Poor buddy. I'm glad he's better, but I hate it for him. Yeah, let me run some more ads. Oh, Carl and Don are gone, but I'm going to run their song anyway.
It's time to scan, that is the plan, with Carl and Dawn to catch a fawn or unicorn. We're so forlorn, we got a Koepp, so here's our rep. Munsey, we want to Munsey, because we want some points and funny badges with our modern cell phone gadgets. Munsey, we've got to Munsey. Download that app and help us Koepp, and you can play it too. Munsey is good exercise, good for your heart and for your thighs. Dawn is such a lovely lass. Come on, Dawn, get off your chair. Munsey, we want to Munsey, because we want some points and funny badges with our modern cell phone gadgets. Munsey, we got to Munsey. Download that app and help us Koepp, and you can play it too.
And let's see what we're doing here. Let's see. Kitty lunch, poor buddy. One of these days, I hope to be able to sing along again. Me too, dear. One of these days, I hope to stop trying to sing along because my voice is not something you all should endure more than you have to. And yet I prattle on for hours at a time. I miss the chocolate chip cookies from high school. They're a bit doughy on the inside, a bit overdone and crunchy on the outside, but pretty batter. Oh my God, Don. Okay. Real life story. Was one of my favorite misadventures that I had back in college. They had cookies that were this big at PNC. And I lived basically on campus without living on campus, in that my first class was at 8 a.m. My last class was at 10 something, and I wasn't spending the money on gas to go back and forth. I was way too tight for that. So I would sleep in my car. First thing I'd do is get a big thing of Mountain Dew, and I'd function as a poor college student does. But one day, there was a huge event downstairs of the Library Student Faculty Building, LSF. And it was a catered event. Snacks and goodies. And they had a baking sheet. Now, a real baking sheet, a real cookie sheet from a restaurant, not a half sheet, not a quarter sheet like most people are used to thinking of. It's like nearly 3 by 4 feet, huge thing of these cookies. And they put them out with everything else. And they did the program that was on the importance of a healthy diet, the effects of diabetes on like the liver or something. And the, what was it? The social pressures on the obese. I mean, it was this whole thing, as pretentious as you could imagine such a thing to be. Campuses would have stuff like this every once in a while. But they left, and I went downstairs because I could smell cookies. And of course, no one touched the cookies at this because no one wanted the association. So I went down, looked around, and acquired them. And what I mean I acquired them, I had a stack of cookies that my chin was resting on with a napkin here, napkin here. I had just gone, tunk, 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 made this vertical pile, and I ran up like, so I was running down the hall to my usual space with these cookies. Oh, I ate a great many of them, and I handed them out like the cookie fairy because that's kind of who I was, still am. But my buddy Ben, who the anniversary of his passing was a few days ago, and it kind of hit me like a sledgehammer. But he just lost it. It's one of the 2 times I saw that man laugh so hard he had to sit like a Pooh Bear. And you got to imagine, nearly 7 foot. I want to say he was 6'10", 400-500 pounds of Ben. Think Andre the Giant. You're in the right neighborhood. Full goth, chains hanging off of him, big curly spiked earrings, spiked hair, black. On his butt in the hallway, his size like third. I mean, his shoes were like this big. Frankenstein shoes stuck out in front of him, laughing his butt off because I went running by. Oh, God. Shoot. You got to remember, I went running by. No, I went rolling by because that was back when I had my Go-Go Gadget. I can't remember if I was wearing my Go-Go Gadget roller skate shoes back then or the blue, like vinyl light up boots that I loved. But, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was good days. And I knew the lady who made them. I actually were related to one of the ladies. But, oh God. Every once in a while, I think, in the middle of the day, it will just hit me how much I'd like some of the baked mostaccioli and cookies from campus. Like right now, I could just destroy them. But we got to find that, guys. And yeah, oh. Okay, I'll give you another Ben story. Ben and I were in the computer lab before I got kicked out for the Nick field shorting out the printers and causing them to catch fire. Yes, the lab techs figured out that I was a walking EMF field, and they literally banned me from the main computer lab and gave me a key to the auxiliary computer lab. that was supposed to be only open certain times. But I was sitting there, and one of the printers was going out because a bunch of people had been printing off books. And so we're sitting there, and I'm typing on something. I'm sure, given as hard as I was working, it had to not be school related. You know, taking a break from playing Adventure Quest and Gaia Online, but you just hear this cycling noise, and Ben goes, "What is that?" And I turned and I looked at him. I said, "That is the mating call of hamsters on speed." And I just kept typing. Don't think I even turned. He looked at me, paled, threw his head back, and laughed in such a way it was concussive, slid out of his chair, and suddenly he's at head height with me, sitting on the floor laughing so hard he was crying. Oh, gosh, those were good days, guys. I'm sorry, I'm pulling out strange reminiscences, in part because I'm wearing a shirt I've had since college. Yeah, Trey knows. Ben was an amazing man. He had to be that big because that was the only way his heart could fit in his chest. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Oh. Honestly, and I mean this, if Ben hadn't met the love of his life, being Heather, whom I adored a bit too, you and he would just be peas in a pod. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I went to school with him, his brother Zach, Heather, his girlfriend / wife, who he imported from Pittsburgh, and his little sister Becca, and his other sisters, but I really don't hold much weight to any of them for reasons not to be broadcast. Zach had a heart defect, so we knew he wasn't going to last as long as he should have, but he passed early. I designed a tattoo for him. It was going to be a whole back piece a few days before. He was supposed to get that inked. He passed. Then Ben passed, and Heather moved on. Once in a blue moon, I get to talk to her, and Becca married a really nice guy from England, and they have quite a happy little life together. So there's that. But yeah, it's weird how many people who know the pieces, the incarnations of versions of Nick, aren't here anymore. And how few people know me across, for lack of a better word, regeneration cycles. How many people only knew me by a specific nickname at different points in my life? Every once in a while, people from different periods will cross like, "Is that so-and-so?" Yep. Why are they calling you that? Because at that point, that was my name. I tend to flit in and out of lives, folks. I am usually there long enough to be of service, and then I tend to pop my way out when I'm no longer needed. Because usually when I'm no longer needed, folks move. And yes, there was a time in high school we still had the computer mice with roller balls. Somebody broke it in, only stole the roller balls and nothing else. Oh, I remember that. Back when pranks were all insane. Oh, God. Yes, we do. And it's important that we remember that. It's important we keep this goofy perspective. And then they left. They neutered the mice and ran. But the only constant is change. And it's weird because if I look up a couple of my friends from high school, I can think of at least two who visibly just haven't aged a speck. I still have this theory that they all had a secret cabal to drop all the appearance of their aging on me, Dorian Gray style. Well, thank you, Fuzzy. I don't stream games very often. This is a talk show, Fuzzy. I support authors and other creatives. I do an art stream on Wednesdays. And right now I'm just kind of doing an extended hangout stream just to be supportive. I do play Minecraft, although I haven't had anybody interested in me streaming that, and I do occasionally Nerf reviews, Nerf Blast reviews. I'm multifunctional. And like I said, lots of artists, authors, great folks. In fact, let's bring up somebody's awesome stuff. That's not the one I want to bring up. This is.
Finally, it's time for the follow-up to the hit modern fantasy comic book, Beowulf. Victor, the reincarnation of the legendary warrior Beowulf, is plagued by visions of his ancestor facing off against his most infamous rivals, Grendel and Grendel's mother. Victor, with his lovable sidekick and spirit guide Moony the cat with magic powers, must reevaluate everything they've come to believe in this epic adventure. Were Grendel and Grendel's mother actually the monsters they were portrayed as in storybooks? Could somebody be using dark magic in an attempt to resurrect Grendel and his mother in a petty act of revenge? For the answers to these mysteries, plus plenty of action, humour and magic, check out Beowulf, Grendel's Curse. This is a 3-issue miniseries, with each issue being over 30 pages. Get it now for a limited time on Kickstarter.
All right, we got some more comments. One of these days, I'll tell that story. Feel free. I need to log in Twitch and turn off the gaming tag. Haven't gamed on this account in ages. Hey, that happens, Joe. No worries. That or we need to find an excuse to game. I am absolutely terrible at any number of games, so perhaps we can set something up where one of these days you and I are actually in chat. I don't know, playing Minecraft or Halo or something silly like that. If people think, listening to me and Joe get into mischief sounds fun. But let's see. I'm going to run a few more ads because it's getting to that time where I want to be able to wind down, and a few people I want to make sure get their stuff shown. So I'll give the chat a chance to catch up, and if nobody's really got anything they need, we'll wind it down.
From author Brian K. Morris comes a tale of irreverent holiday horror, told with much inappropriate humor. Dr. Victor Frankenstein creates the spirit of giving himself. Ho, ho, ho! Santastein, or the post-holiday Prometheus. Available at Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
Alrighty. For now, let's suffice it to say, it's always the quiet ones. Can you believe I used to be painfully shy and not talk all the way through the latest? Absolutely. Absolutely, because we are who our environment allows us to be. If we are in a space where we are given the room for our personalities to expand, you get a full impact personality. If it's compressed, you get compressed. I recently saw a video of, it's not that you get different versions of me, it's you get different volumes. And there's nothing wrong with that. The tragedy is all the people who are being held down lower because they're afraid. Please don't be afraid. I'm still like that at times. Always have been. It happens to me too sometimes. So as I said, like I said on Saturday, I'm quiet if I'm not comfortable around you. Understandable. Once he's comfy, he talks a lot. I got to run one more ad because I run every day for my friend Kat. And then I want to talk a bit and wrap up. Okay?
Hi, this is Kat. During the school year, I'm Mrs. Rothermel. But otherwise, I'm Rock and Roll Art Goddess, writing about my past and filming the present. I need you to join my Rock and Roll Art army and to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. What started out as journal therapy is now 4 books, I see, and an Instagram account to blow off steam, becoming a book, with another to do the same. A short film for a friend. No, this is not the end. Peace, love, and let me art.
As we go into today and the events of today and the coming days, you don't have to face it alone. You don't have to be alone. Remember what bullies want. What bullies want is for you to be small. They want you to comply. They want you to be afraid and suffer for their amusement. Therefore, I beg that you seek out joy, seek out kindness, seek out love and support, especially for those who are going through difficult times in the coming weeks, months, and years. And be there for each other. I ask that if you are having difficulty, if you are hurting or in despair, that you reach out and keep reaching out till people can help you. Please. I beg this on all that I hold holy. I beg you to keep reaching out. Be kind to yourselves and each other. Okay? And if you have the ability, as many of us are artists and writers, There is a specific alchemy that we are gifted with, a type of magic that many would long for. The ability to take pain and turn it into beauty. When you think about the works of somebody like Ben Goff, his name fell out off my mind, but the artist behind the Ghibli studio. I can see him with the cigarette hanging out of his mouth, but his name just blanked. But people who have profound pain, and instead of it consuming them, they use it to spread out to others. Reach out and support each and every one of you, okay? Use the pain to create beauty. There are no, in my mind, more defiant things than in times of trouble doing kindness. In times of rage, remaining calm. In times of fury, planting seeds for trees you will never enjoy the shade of. Plant things, make things, watch and record your stories. Because history may be spicy for a bit. It may not be recorded properly on the macro scale. That happens. And while we are in whatever comes, support each other. Believe it or not, we are barreling towards IndieCD.com. And I am looking greatly forward to promoting that. I'm looking greatly forward to seeing many of you, to selling wonderful things that I will be throwing money at Joe for. And possibly even commissioning other silly things from Joe when he has time. Again, with that green stuff thrown at him, I just have to get it. But the storm is fleeting. And those of us who are here today, 11:35 my time, January 20th, 2025. We have survived the impossible. We have endured wars and plagues and famine and the checklist of the plagues of Egypt, it feels like sometimes. And we're still here. The people in my chat right now, the people, the eyeball people who are watching and saying nothing, the people who watch this in reruns, many of you may be quiet. Many of you may feel small. But you are mighty. The level of strength, of character, of personality, of dedication to remain gentle, to willingly remain soft and sensitive to the needs of others in a brutalist society that seems hell-bent on hardening the hearts of so many through whatever means possible. Love in the face of darkness is heroic. Keeping to concepts like truth and mercy and goodness they matter so much, especially right now. So, guys, keep it up. Don't be afraid to reach out for support. In the words of my favorite sermon probably ever written, Brother Loves Tribal and Salvation Show, if you see your brothers or sisters in need, you reach your hand down to them, because that's what it's there for. And if you find yourself in need and the sky is dark, you reach your hand up to the Lord, because that's what He's there for. Now, my friends, we all have the opportunity to become an embodiment of light. We all have an opportunity to reach out and elevate and motivate and enhance those around us. Whether we are seen or unseen, heard or unheard, we can be a light in the dark. So today, as I wind up to wind down, today, as we sit locked in our homes by merciless cold, I try to fan the embers of hope in each and every one of your hearts. I try to get that light to catch, to blaze, and help all of you, and hope all of you can go forward through the rest of today and tomorrow, and into each setting of the sun and each rising of the sun with love and light and hope and defiance of that which is cruel and dark and small-minded. And we will get through whatever comes. Because it's hokey, and it may be unpopular, may even sound silly, but in the end, love conquers all. Love of our fellow man. Love of the world around us. Love of truth and beauty. These things matter. Even if it's not profitable, even if it's not popular, even if the whole world wants to glare down, sometimes you just have to say no. Your voice can tremble. Your knees can shake. But sometimes you just say no. I'm going to keep supporting love. And I hope you can do that in everything you do. So, guys, as I say many times a week, keep writing, keep drawing, keep creating. Because as long as you do, you can edit it, you can improve it, but you cannot edit a blank page. I love you, and you should too. And I will be back Wednesday to do art and silliness and take requests. Same bat time, same bat channel. I hope to see you all then. Toodles, folks.